Hey yo, what's up everybody? The newest character dripped by Wuthering Waves is Phrolova, a Fractsidus overseer. And there's more to her than meets the eye. Phrolova's Eyepatch may tell us way more about her than you actually think. Today we're diving into all the things we know about Phrolova, her design, her feats, and her place in the story. But before we dive in, keep this in mind. Kuro has a habit of hiding major lore clues in plain sight, through visuals, diaries, and subtle one-liners. This means what seems like a simple accessory or animation might be a clue to something bigger. That being said, let's get it. A while back, I did a video on the mysterious unusable items dropped by Fractsidus artificers all across the map. If you haven't checked that video out yet, give it a watch. It's some of my best work. Anyways, in that video, we talk about the lore purpose of those items. In order to talk about it now, we'll first have to explain the two known ranks of Fractsidus members. First, you have the overseers like Scar and Phrolova, and then you have the artificers, basically all the infantrymen that we come across all over Solaris. The Fractsidus believes that everyone should be able to attain powers, not just resonators, and they're able to get their powers from attaching tacit discord parts to their body. But their body naturally rejects this. So to aid in the process of their body positively receiving this Frankenstein-like addition, versions of these masks are worn by all the members, from new recruits all the way up to veteran members. My theory is Phrolova wears this eye patch as a kind of pseudo-mask, helping her to refine the tacit discord powers flowing within her. My guess is that her absorption of tacit discord energy is near complete, which is why aside from the color, the bandaged eye looks pretty normal. That is, until it starts to drip blood. We know the Fractsidus' affinity for Thernoidian power. This red eye just might symbolize a fragile balance between who she is as a human and what she very well might be becoming. So the question becomes, is Phrolova still the conductor in control of the show? Or is this lament-colored eye evidence of her becoming a vessel for something else entirely? Not only does Phrolova wield a Lycoris flower in hand, but her entire design hinges on the theme of this flower. From all the little thin straps of color, to the flower on the bodice of her dress, to the entire bottom portion of her dress. And with this flower playing such a huge role in her design, you'd have to be crazy to think that it wouldn't be a representation of her characterization. So, what does this flower represent? The Lycoris flower, or red spider lilies, were once planted around graves and believed to draw in the blood of the deceased, harnessing their red color. In Japanese culture, the red spider lily is often linked to death and remembrance of loved ones who have passed. The flower also symbolizes separation between life and death, or a moment of transition, as the flower blooms just as summer fades into fall. If you remember the story of Chi-Chi Village, back in Chapter 1, Act 3, you might also remember a certain diary. Many people believe the writer of this diary to be Phrolova. Even Rover, Yang Yang, and Chisha speculate if this diary's author was later taken in to the Fractsidus. The diary emanates a strange mix of resonator and tacit discord frequencies. In the diary, the writer is a young girl, expressing her regret and loss of her sibling. Their sibling died trying to protect them from tacit discords. But the girl had a strange ability, the ability to reanimate the dead into tacit discords. She reanimated her sibling, trying to resurrect them, but instead transforming them into a tacit discord. She hoped and continuously tried to fix her mistake, but it was implied that she was never successful. Then the villagers found out and turned on that family, and then on each other, destroying the village. If the author is indeed Phrolova, it isn't hard to see that even from a young age, she would have been surrounded by death, thereby making this flower a perfect representation of her. Lycoris isn't just a symbol of death, it's symbolic of a beautiful death, a looming decay, And when you look at Phrolova's animations and colors, there's this haunting elegance to everything she does. It's like she's not trying to kill, she's trying to preserve something. And if you remember back in Chapter 1, Act 3, it's Phrolova who tells Scar that he took it too far when he's testing us in Chi-Chi Village. It might be possible that the licorice flower she carries everywhere might be a visual representation of her sibling, the one she lost, and then tried to bring back. Maybe every petal she controls is a fragment of that memory, reanimated through sheer will. Before we go any further, please be sure to like and share. I know you hear this all the time, but it really does help me to continue making awesome videos just like this one. Coming from the topic of the licorice flower, Phrolova is a very powerful resonator who's used this flower to aid her in missions and accomplish some pretty amazing feats. With her licorice petals, she was able to control extremely powerful tacit discords without using the blessing of Imperator or converting them into echoes. She could just control them. And while we know building relationships with tacit discords is possible for regular people on Solaris 3, it is something that still remains quite difficult for most people to do, and that includes resonators. Her abilities go farther than just controlling tacit discords. She's also been seen summoning an entire army of tacit discords. Her power apparently goes deeper than that. One of the Fractsidus' main objectives involves resurrecting the Threnodians. And in Chapter 1, Act 6, Phrolova summons Overthrax, the Threnodian of War. Now, Overthrax isn't just a monster, it's a calamity level entity, a possible threat to civilization. And the fact that Phrolova can just bring something like this forth, even once, makes you question, what is she really capable of? With all this being said, I think it's safe to say that whatever Phrolova's gameplay kit entails, it's almost certain to include use of the licorice flower and control over tacit discords. What if her kit works like a puppet master? Not just summoning echoes, but issuing commands to multiple at once. Maybe she marks her enemies, and her tacit discord minions attack on her cue, like a symphony of death conducted in real time. The closest thing tacit discords relate to, in terms of existing gameplay kits, are echoes. So my guess is that her gameplay will have something to do with echoes, and maybe the usage of echoes of other characters as well. All of this paints a picture of Phrolova being incredibly powerful, yet meaningful character. But with everything we've seen so far, her summoning, her control, her composure, you gotta wonder, what exactly is Phrolova's role within the Fractsidus? Overseers like Scar are brute force instruments of destruction. They lead with violence and overwhelming presence. But Phrolova, she just kind of feels different. Her actions, precise. Her words, measured. Yet she doesn't outrank him. While there may be only two known ranks of the Fractsidus, that being Artificers and Overseers, it makes you wonder, who are they taking orders from? Because we can't be getting the big boss of the organization this soon. If she's the conductor, someone else had to put her on the stage. So what does this self-proclaimed conductor have in store for us in the coming patch? Now, I can't say for sure, but I am excited to find out. Let me know if you're also excited about Phrolova, and if you spotted any more lore crumbs, whether in the diary, her animations, or item descriptions. Drop them down in the comments. I read everything, and I just might feature your theory in a future video. But anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that bell so you don't miss out when I come back with even more lore breakdowns and game mode analysis videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you in the waves. Peace.